So before I start today, is anyone here a pageant lover? Ooh. Can you just raise your hand? And can you please stand up? Okay, give a round of applause. Thank you so much. And for this session, right now, I want all of you to close your eyes. I want all of you to close your eyes. And don't sleep, because I still have a session for all of you. And imagine a beauty queen. Still closing your eyes, imagine if it is a woman wearing her crown and her beautiful gown. Raise your hand if you think the beauty queen looks like that. Okay. Thank you. Still closing your eyes. Raise your hand if you think this grand stage and all of these beautiful ladies gathered and they're maybe dancing and wearing their gorgeous cocktail dresses as well. I want you all to raise your hand. Thank you so much. And now open your eyes. Raise your hand if a beauty queen looks like this. Thank you. So this is not how a typical beauty queen would look like. This is how a typical scientist would look like, with their lab coats and holding their Ellen Meyer glasses, and of course, just looking plain. And what you see right here on the left it is me, with that lab coat and just being plain, but with my smile. And on the left is how I looked recently when I was chosen as Putri Indonesia Banten 1 and just joining pageantry, with a beautiful gown and, of course, with my crown. So the question right now would be, what a scientist would do by joining pageantry. Shouldn't I just stay in my lab and doing all my research? And shouldn't I just stay there and not socializing with everyone, because that's what a scientist would usually do. They couldn't even socialize with their peers. Well, the answer to it is curiosity. This curiosity leads me to bring the best of both worlds. One with crunching numbers and, of course, one with the glitz and glam. So actually, curiosity is the behavior or emotion of someone with a desire to gain knowledge or information or even experience. It has been attributed over the years as something that is the driver of the field of science, language, and even industry. And in short, curiosity is the basic driver of human civilization. So when I talk about curiosity, how I would embark on my curiosity, it all started when I was in high school. I was just an average student. And at that time, my high school utilizes these terms or credits just like in university, or we call it SKS. So rather than the usual year 10, 11, or 12, we would use the term of first semester, second semester, and so on. And at that time, my teacher just introduced us to the subject of chemistry. And at that time, my teacher also went up to me to ask me whether I want to join the National Science Olympiad in the same subject. At the time, I was really hesitated because what would I know as someone who just learned that chemistry was more than just table periodics and then just batteries. What even made me hesitated, because I was really intimidated because the other representatives were these two guys. They were my seniors. They were already in my 4th semester. And at that time, I don't really think that I could compete with them as well. They were already known as highly, highly intelligent. But I know that I will regret it if I didn't try. So I tried. I passed, and then I got onto the regional round. And it was a really fun and exciting time prepping for this competition. But after it, for the provincial round, guess what? I failed. I failed and I didn't move to the next round, but it triggers my curiosity. And it made me more interested in chemistry. So long story short, I graduated from high school, and of course, I majored in chemistry at Universitas Indonesia. And then, not long while, I saw this modeling competition. And maybe right now you would think that, okay, maybe, there's actually a real modeling competition and not just a computational chemistry or even molecular modeling competition. And at that time, I was really eager to join. And I also think that maybe this would be a right chance for me to try new things. And then we arrived at this time when we should do the photo shoot session. And there was this gorgeous, tall-looking girls and statuesque, gorgeous-looking girls as well. And I was even more intimidated. What's a short girl doing there, not knowing how to pose? And even what I know day by day is just mixing the solution in my beaker glass and working in the lab. So maybe as what you have guys expected, days went by after the competition, and then I failed. I got no callbacks. But then again, after the competition, it made me think, maybe I still have some hopes to be a model. And then after a while, after a few weeks after that competition, there's this tourism ambassador competition. My curiosity kicks me again, and then at that time, I think maybe I could give it a try. And with this look, I just go for it, and then I still remember that when I joined, I was the only contestant from a pure scientific background. While that competition requires me to know about the social and political communication and other things that is maybe not relevant from my background. And it was a fun time as well as I was prepping for this competition with the other contestants. I made it to the provincial round, but after it, again, I failed. So after all of this, it made me think, shouldn't I just go to stick to my STEM background? And I even wanted to have my master's in communication. And then my father reminded me that I could just go for it. And then I pursued my degree in biochemical engineering. And after it, I failed many times. I didn't get my calculations right. But it made me think that maybe I should just combine what my knowledge in the ambassador and also my knowledge as a scientist. And it made me realize that there are less than 30% of the researchers in this world are women. And it made me think again, what kind of feasible platform that I could use to voice all of this, and that is through pageantry. I faced many commentaries as well, and it made me think that I'm not good enough for this. And I still remember to this day one comment mentioning that I look like a horse. And of course, I felt that I failed. But then again, my curiosity and now combined with my resiliency, it made me think that I should do this wholeheartedly, and I should be reminded that my motivation is to voice out the representation of women in science. And thankfully, I got into top 5 and I got 4th runner-up, finally. This was a realization that maybe I was not meant to be a model, but to be a role model. And think of it, that there are many notable people. For example, Walt Disney. They are not only highly curious, but also resilient. Thomas Edison, look around you guys. We would not have this kind of enlightenment if he would just give up. And Marie Curie, when she was not allowed to speak because she was a woman, if she gave up at then, she wouldn't have her Nobel Prize. So in life, I think that I faced many failures. But I know that my curiosity and also my resiliency would bring me to this day. So in the end, when I look back, although I faced many failures, I know that my curiosity and resiliency will take me. So today, you may only learn a thing, but keep being curious and be resilient, because tomorrow, you will end up having learning the whole universe. Thank you.